We're here today to talk a bit about streams and why we restore streams, which streams we select. This stream we're standing in doesn't have any water, and that's okay. It's an intermittent stream, which means it only flows when there's lots of rain. When you're looking at a stream to determine whether or not it's stable, don't pay as much attention to the bed of the stream. The beds vary depending upon the local geology and what's going on in the system. And the most important thing really is to look at the banks themselves, because all stable streams are going to have similar bank characteristics that will tell you whether or not the stream is intact or whether or not the stream needs some work. Now, the banks on this stream aren't perfect, but it has good vegetation overall on the bank, both banks. It has roots stretching all the way down to the bottom of the stream, and that's critical. Those roots are what really hold that together. It's not too steep. In addition, the banks are relatively low. Low banks are important. The deeper a channel gets, the more unstable it becomes usually. So that low bank condition is very important. So before we were standing in a pretty stable stream bed, just upstream of where I'm standing now, and now we're down in the degraded portion of the stream. Between here and there is a head cut, and that's a place where the stream bed has dropped because the water gushing down through the system has eroded the bed out and pushed the bank back up towards the head of the stream. So it's called a head cut. And when it head cuts, it then also resizes the channel. So around me now you're seeing exactly what you don't want to see in a stream, which is undercut banks. They're raw. They actually stretch about 5 feet back underneath these tree roots. And as it cuts the bottom of that bank out, big storms will come through and remove all the sediment on top. So you'll have massive erosion of the stream. We'll send lots of sediment and nutrients down, which not only smothers all the animals that live in the stream and they can't live here anymore, but it contributes sediment down to the lower receiving stream, the Potomac River and the Chesapeake Bay. And that's where our nutrient and sediment loading problems are coming from, this massive channel erosion. So what we have here is one of the worst case scenarios. The stream is widened out and undercut the bank. This is by about 4 feet in this case. Eventually all the material on top is going to fall, including any trees that have been undercut with the bank itself. In order to fix it, you really need to come in and do a full stream restoration. In this case, you'd have to shave the bank back and usually put in some structures to provide stability. So the health of our streams is directly related to the trees. The trees in our area provide the stability. Their roots lock the banks together. They help build the soil around the streams, and they help filter water that's coming from the side areas that are coming down toward the stream itself. And there's some trees that even if they're somewhat stable now, they might compromise the restored stream. So the important thing is to save the ones you can, but you got to take out the ones you can't, and then plant new trees outside the bank whose roots will grow in and really anchor that stream and pull it together and build that soil around that restored stream site.
We are at Colvin Run below Lake Fairfax. The stream restoration work is important to minimize the sediment that is cut out of the banks of the streams and taken into the Potomac River and eventually to the Chesapeake Bay. So during storm events, large volumes of water come over the spillway and down the stream. The erosion here is due to the force of the water that comes around the bend in the stream. With the restoration, we will shift the channel, the stream channel, and move it away from this eroded area. That will allow us to fill in here and stabilize the bank and the root systems of these trees. Shifting the stream channel requires grading that will remove roots of the trees. So those trees will need to be removed. The stream restoration work will lay the bank back to stabilize it. The new trees that will be planted will be native species that naturally occur in floodplains such as this. They will have the best chance of becoming established and thriving in this environment.
This is what a natural stream looks like in terms of it would have this kind of profile. Clearly we had to put rock and other structures in there to hold it in place, but it's now elevated back up where it can support the native plants that grow here, and those plants are critical for the functioning of the system. So the importance of those native plants and the healthy native plants in our stream valleys is critical to supporting all the animals and other wildlife that are in those systems. The mission for the Department of Public Works and Environmental Services is really to protect our environment and improve the conditions for the residents of Fairfax County and to comply with state and federal regulations. So we actually have 3 divisions: urban forestry, we have stormwater planning, and we also have maintenance and stormwater management division. So the three of us work closely together to look at the issues affecting water quality, the trees, the condition of the watershed, the condition of the streams, and they're all integrally related. So we have to address all of them when we look at restoration and when we consider the health of a watershed or the health of a particular stream.